Welcome back. She's one of our most popular singer-songwriters and the artist behind the new CD, The Beekeeper, and also the new book, a Renaissance woman, as it were. The book is called Piece by Piece, and the woman is Tori Amos. Give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen, Tori. How are you? Nice to see you again. Oh, you went European on me.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Look at you, Tori. You're always just such an eclectic gal. I love the way you garb yourself.
Yes, tell me, Dennis. How do you see it?
I see somebody who's got varied taste and nice gams. All right. Now tell me about The Beekeeper. What's your new album? I always find your music, when I watch you perform, you're such an empathetic creature. There's almost a fragility about you when I watch you. I enjoy that about you. You seem to be speak in a true artist's voice.
Well, some people think that when I play, my dad will always say to me that he thinks it's a little obscene, but he's a Methodist minister, so yeah. You know how they are. And truly, I think it's because the piano was my place. I grew up in a very religious family. And to the point where certain records wouldn't be allowed in the house. I mean, records that I'm sure you love listening to, The Doors and Robert Plant. He thought that Robert Plant was getting all the young girls in the church to do things that they shouldn't be doing with their hips. And I was doing it too. And at the piano, of course. And so it's very much about passion when I play.
Was your dad like the town elder in Footloose? Was that the sort of...
Yeah, my dad is very much, I think, one of these people that, well, I mean, he's a Republican, so maybe right-wing, you would think, in some ways. And I've always said, you know, Dad, the thing about it is, I'm sure you want the Democrats out of your bank account, but I'd like the Republicans out of my bedroom.
There we go. I'd like the Democrats and the Republicans out of my bedroom. My wife and I are making sweet love. Listen, tell me about the book. What is this about? The book is a dialogue with a journalist, right? Or that's the way it's set up?
Yeah, I mean, imagine that for a musician to have a dialogue with the enemy. Because sometimes, I mean, come on, you must have, over your career, had interviews where you say, I was at that lunch, and this is not what I remember our conversation being. And they can really paint you out to be somebody that, well, that maybe I am, but I didn't think I was anyway. And yet, Ann Powers, New York Times critic, sometimes vicious but fair, and you have to hand it to somebody that you respect. I wanted to write a book that was a conversation between two women who have survived the music industry, give people a backstage path into how it kind of works.
Is it as brutal as we would imagine at the music industry, or is it, if you're good at it, you get ahead, and if you're not, you get killed? That's one of the things I like about show business. There's strict lines of demarcation. In most businesses in the world, you can suck your way all the way up the ladder, but at some point in showbiz, you have to be proficient. I like that. Do you?
Well, I like that, but in the music industry, you don't have to be proficient at music anymore with Pro Tools. At least with a comedian, you kind of have to be funny, or you get pelted with eggs. Whereas with music now, I mean, I hate to bring up lip syncing and all that, but there are a lot of people that don't even sing anymore at their shows.
Yeah.
So, you, yes, maybe in some ways have to suck your way up to the top, but not on a microphone. And I've always believed that that's what I do. I use the microphone as my tool.
No, you know, I talk to you and I look into your eyes and I can tell how smart you are. Was being that smart painful when you were a kid?
I think as a kid...
you know, sometimes when you find out you're a bit of a prodigy when you're a kid, you don't want to be, do you? Don't you want to be a kid?
Well... The crazy thing is, I mean, it's very nice of you to say that, but I guess as a kid, I always felt like, I always liked the guy that wanted to date my friend. And I was always everybody's friend. I wasn't really the person that got the attention in that way. Mm-hmm. And then I turned 40. I'm 41 now. And all of a sudden, I feel like, my daughter said to me the other day, she's got this British accent, she goes, "Mommy, I think you're growing younger." And I said, "That's really, Tash, that's the nicest thing you could think." And I think maybe being around her, I have to really think on my feet. She's 4.5, and she runs the joint.
Right. How's your music changed? Less pained, more ebullient, more joyous? When I had kids, I began to feel guilty when I'd have down days. I'd think, you don't have the right to. Look how beautiful the gift you've been given. Do you have that?
Well, yeah, maybe I think being a mom has completely changed how I see everything.
In what way?
Well, before, maybe, and it's, think of you, whatever you want to think of me, you will. But I could probably tell you, you know, the circumference between my navel and any other orifice, because as a poet, musician, you can be very self-obsessed. And I'm not proud of that necessarily, but when you become a mom, if you're doing your job right, you don't have too much time to be so self-absorbed. And
Yeah.
I think it comes through a bit in the music. I'm looking a bit more outward.
Well, when you're the mom of a new baby, you're definitely obsessed with somebody else's orifice.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's not about yours anymore. Tori, it's always good to see you. You're a sweetheart. Tori Amos. We'll be right back with the Varsity.